Hello, everybody. Welcome to Terri TV. How are you? Well. I'm close. I'm here. I'm really here. How about that? Terri Hardin here, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer and pop icon. No, really, I am. No, seriously, I am pop icon. How are you today? It's good to see you. I thought I'd pop in briefly. I'm going to keep this brief because I have a bit of work to do, but I did want to pop in and let you guys know of something very, very important. A film that you may or may not have heard of called The Inventor. It involves regular 2D animation, stop motion animation, and some really, really remarkable storytelling. And it's done by someone who is passionate about getting this film done. As I understand it, and my knowledge of this film is sketchy. I'm fortunate enough to have a group of patrons on my Patreon page called Terri's Tribe. In Terri's Tribe, I have a lot of knowledgeable, wonderful, supportive, giving people who share with me lots of insights about theater, film, conventions, cosplay, charities, Disney, Lego, rocket science, Mars. You getting the idea? Every kind of walk of life is on this page, and it doesn't cost much to be a part of it. So before we begin, you know what I'm going to say. If you've been here before, join the page. Join Terri's Tribe. Your voice needs to be heard. If you're someone who feels the world is dark and scary, you need to join this community. If you're someone who's always dreamed of doing what you love and making a living at it, join this community. If you're someone who wants to listen to a podcast where we talk about just about anything and we do it behind a closed door, join this community. It's only $5 a month, which means you can put a jar near your door, throw a quarter in it once a day, and you have what it takes to be a part of Terri's Tribe. You need to have skin in the game. I'm a very busy artist, and by you joining for that $5 for as little as, let me say that, for as little as $5 a month, you join. And there's lots of perks to joining, but there's also the best perk. Your heart will feel full. And if you haven't had that beautiful full glass feeling, this is the page for you. A lot of positive stuff happens. A lot of heartfelt stuff happens. Discussions of every walk of life. I cannot tell you it will give you how-tos just yet. I've had a very, very crazy year. And so my year has been quite broken up into a lot of little pieces. I say that for the first time, Terri was a super circus performer. That's me, Terri Hardin. I'm spinning plates and I'm keeping them in the air. And it is a bit of hard work and it can be a little tiresome, but it was my year. And sometimes when you have lemons doled out to you, you got to make lemonade, don't you? Anyway, we help you to stay warm and fuzzy, keep a positive attitude, and stay upbeat about your life. If you're struggling with something, we will help you with that. If you want to learn how to paint, how to draw, if you're a comic book artist and you're not quite sure how to break into the industry, you're interested about being an Imagineer, that would be me. You're someone who wants to play a musical instrument, we've got musicians in there. If you love Legos and you want to know where is there a Lego convention or what in the heck is an MOC, this is the page for you, okay? So think about it. It's a great page. And like I said, everyone helps each other in the page. It's not just about me talking at you. It's about me talking with you at least once, usually twice, mostly 3 times a week, twice a week now. We've done it because of my crazy life. But if you don't know who I am, you can always Google Terri Hardin, TERRIHARDIN, and see that I have 2 Wikipedia pages. And I've worked with people like Elizabeth Taylor, Michael Jackson, the Fab guys in Ghostbusters, because I was in that movie. You can see what I've done, and then you can ask me about it. You can say, hey, I heard you did a Days of Our Lives, and you did some sort of puppet in that. What was that about? Or you can say, hey, you met Sherry Lewis. What was that like? Or you can say, hey, you look a little different. Tell me about what your life was growing up. Were you bullied? And the answer is obviously yes. Everyone can be bullied. It's usually the bully who just chooses a reason to bully you. And you can be beautiful, you can be short, you can be tall, you can be a different look, you can be perfectly fine. And if a bully's going to get their sights on you, they got your sights on you. So we deal with stuff like that as well. But we deal with all the good stuff, sharing. I learned a lot about records from the Disney record guy. There's Disney historians in there. There's people who have played Walt Disney, performed Walt Disney, people who do voices, people who do just all walks of life in and on Terri's Tribe on Patreon. So check it out. It doesn't hurt. In fact, now you can follow it. Just click on it and follow it, listen to it, and if you like it, join it. Okay? I have great retention. A lot of people love to stay. And I got to start thinking about what Christmas gift I'm going to send y'all that are part of it. But it's really amazing, amazing place. And this is where I learned about the inventor, was from my tribe. Brilliant people who keep their eyes on the prize and help me do stuff, find stuff, and learn stuff, because my favorite thing is learning. All right? Okay. There you go. There we go. Mystery solve it. Right? Mystery solve it. Do you know what that's from? The case is solved. Do you have a license for your monkey? And it's, do you have a license for your monkey? That's how you say it. If you know what that is, you can post in the comments and tell me if you love it. Okay. But today we're going to talk about the inventor, my friend Leo Holzer and tribe member. He reached out to me to tell me that he had seen this movie 3 times. It was a very special movie. And he told me it was a lot of hard work for this person to collect movie money to make the movie. The movie was $10 million to make, which interestingly enough was $2 million less than it took to make Star Wars, which happened in 1977. Well, 76. They were shooting it in 77. It was released. So let's be real about exactly what I'm saying. But that's pretty good. I would say that's a shoestring for a movie nowadays. And it has a nice feel to it. But why am I telling you about it? Because it's going to drop tomorrow, the 7th. Yes, that's right. November 7th. It's going to drop for a limited time. All right. It showed in theaters for a limited time. And the rule with that, in case you don't know, now those of you who do, you're going to know what I'm going to say. But the Academy Awards are coming up. And in order to be eligible for the Academy Awards, you need to put your movie in a theater, a walk in and see it theater for at least a week. So, I don't know if that qualifies for all films now, but I do know for a lot of animation shorts, short subjects, short live action short subjects, all that kind of stuff. They got to do it for about a week in a theater. So this one did that. And that's when Leo, our good friend and tribe member, Leo Holzer, was able to see it a lot. But then he discovered that tomorrow, the 7th, it's going to drop on streaming channels. And he was telling me that the streaming channels are like Apple TV, Amazon. What else did he tell me? I think he said maybe Hulu. He said he named several. But the one key that he told me that was very, very helpful, and it's not going to be free. Let me just point that out. It's going to cost you a couple of bucks to see it. So if you go to Apple TV now, if you have Apple TV, it's going to cost you $9.99 or $10. Let's be real. And you can keep it, which means as long as you have Apple TV, you can keep it. I don't think they're going to give it to you if you no longer have Apple TV. If you unsubscribe, you will lose that movie as well. The point is, for just a short time, and I don't know if I even asked Leo how long, but I'd say probably about 5 days or so, because they want to get energy for, they want to build enthusiasm. And so if you want to see this movie, you can pre-order it on Apple TV. I did it a few days ago. Thank you, Leo Holzer. So this movie is a lot like Rankin Bass. It has kind of a Rankin Bass feel. Do you know Rankin Bass, guys? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, one of my favorites of all time. But there's the Kris Kringle one. There's I think that's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Yeah. Another, I think you've got Santa Claus is Coming to Town with Kris Kringle. That's a fun one with Tanta Kringle and Kris Kringle and the Kringle family. A lot of fun. And then you've got Old Man Winter or whatever. And then you have, of course, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I never miss at Christmas. It is a Christmas tradition for me to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He says I'm cute. Yeah, we all identify with that little reindeer, don't we? Anyway, so you'll know that animation. Also, Rankin Bass did Mad Monster Party. If you haven't seen that one, lots of fun to see that one. Really, really sweet with various fun characters that you can enjoy. Good films done by stop motion animators and producers. That's Rankin Bass. And The Inventor has some similar looks to it. And this person could be a descendant of these animators. I don't know, or just love that style, which I do too. I think it's a great style. So if you can see The Inventor, do yourself a favor, do this person a favor. Let's support. Let's be artists helping artists. It's $10. Skip your Starbucks and grab this movie so you can see it. Okay? Because I haven't seen it, but I'm excited to see it. And I'm really about helping people, artists. I just want an artist to be able to, this person is trying to get recognition. And let me say that again, is working to get recognition. You remember last year when Guillermo del Toro went on his circuit for Pinocchio? I mean, he blew the doors off of it. You could see him just about in every state, it felt like, or it appeared to be that, right? And he's a very dear friend of mine. And I was so funny because I kept trying to go through the normal chain of command to get in to see it. And finally, I just wrote him and said, I'm trying to see you speak on this movie. I love this movie. I'd like to see you speak on it. And he just gave me a ticket. So sometimes I forget that I can just call somebody up and say, do you mind if is there any way I can come and see you? Super, super sweet man, Guillermo del Toro. And if those of you love his films, overall, I do. It was great that I got to go see it in Pinocchio. But his thinking was he wanted to create and heighten awareness. Because if you want to get an Academy Award, marketing is important. And sometimes you don't necessarily want to leave it to the producers who did the movie that you're in, right? And sometimes it's just a wildfire, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. It just explodes. But The Inventor is a little movie, didn't have a lot of money to make it, but it was everything this guy needed and this team needed. So let's show them let's rally around them and help it out and go someplace and pre-order it from Apple or pick your favorite thing tomorrow and be a part of it. It's probably going to be, I would imagine, $9.99 across the board, no matter what venue you find it on. Let me slow down my speech. No matter what venue you find it on, this may be the place that you really, really are going to be, doing that $10. Okay. I just felt that Leo had a really good point in that, the little films are the creative films, and then there are some films that are bigger, that are still creative, that are still a shocker. Barbie. And I was fortunate enough to see the Barbie movie and hear from the director and all of the creative ends of that. I didn't hear from the actress, but I did hear from all the people who made the movie. And it was the best Q&A I had been to in quite some time. It was very, very touching and kind and sweet and informational. Yeah, it was very, very good. And I hope that movie kills it. It's already killed it at the box office. Warner Brothers' biggest grossing movie of, wait for it, all time. Like all time. Like all of the 100 years that Warner Brothers is celebrating its anniversary. This movie killed it. Killed it. And it's one of her early movies. She hasn't done a lot of movies. She hasn't directed a lot of films. Easily under half a dozen, right? That's pretty good. And she talks about that. And it was really, really good. So back to The Inventor. Let's support this person. It's only $10, $9.99. And I think you will be grateful. Grab that popcorn and watch it. And just watch it and watch it and watch it. I will. I know I will. So this is why I came. So let's hear what y'all have to say and what you're thinking. Leo says about the life of Leonardo da Vinci. Have you heard of him? Somewhere in the back of your mind, even if you're not an artist? Does that strike a chord somewhere? See? I knew it have something for everybody. No, I'm kidding. We all know Leonardo da Vinci, don't we? I am a tribe measure. My wife and I enjoy it so much. And Bob Burdine and Rose Burdine are artists in that they are philanthropists. They have big hearts. They are helper of all, advisors to many, and a lot of times they run charity events, which has been a wonderful opportunity for me to talk about how I can do art for charity and join more charities, be a part of more charities. So if you have a charity and you need an illustration or a drawing or something to help you do it, all you have to do is invite me to the gala. All right. Okay. See how I slid that in, Bob? Leo says an independent film that took 10 years to make. So remember I told you about Leo Holzer, okay? Member of the tribe and the one who told me about this film. That's what this comment is right here. If I had a little dancing ball, boop, 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 boop. See? An independent film that took 10 years to make. La, 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 la. A musical about the last years of the maestro's life serving the King of France. The King of France. See? So, chant it to yourself and then make sure you see it. All right? Okay. Hello, all. Hello, Deanna. Hope you're doing well. Deanna, a tribe member, used to live in Arizona, right? Arizona. And then she moved to Florida. And apparently she's loving it there. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And we get to we got to follow her cross-country adventure in Terri's tribe. Very interesting to hear of the trials and tribulations of driving cross-country now as opposed to maybe if many of you have ever done it in the past before the pandemic. Joe Penny says, good morning, Terri and everyone. My group, Classic Disneyland and Classic Disney Movies, is still growing. Currently over 1,700 members. This guy, is he bragging to you? Is he bragging to you right now? Are you feeling that bragging? But he should, right? He should be happy that he's got 1,700 followers, don't you think? I don't know why. Yeah, he does. But he can say he doesn't know why, but he does know why. I didn't do anything to cause it. Yes, he did. And but it's great. Shooting for 2,000 soon. Join us if you haven't already. You see, because you got to read this, okay, Joe? I mean, come on. Let's be real here. You do know why, because you just did this. Okay, this is why it's growing, because you're telling them about it here. And I have a feeling I'm not the only one that you're sharing this with. And that's how a channel grows, right? So if I went over to your channel and said, oh, by the way, check out my channel, I broadcast live here and here, mine could probably grow too with those people. You know, Disney Imagineer, Terri Hardin, you want to hear what she has to say? Join us, you know? So if I joined Classic Disney Group and Classic Disney Movie Group and said, hey, come see me. Do you see how it works? One hand washes the other, right? Nothing wrong with marketing. This is called marketing. And when you let people know where you are, then hopefully you do good work, which obviously Joe's doing great work. The channel grows. So no need to add in this sentence. You don't know why, because you do. And good for you for making it work and telling people about it here. But own it, buddy. Own it, right? Own it, because that 2,000 is right there in view, and you'll be telling me about it soon because you keep doing this. This is why it's growing, right? Right. There you go. You didn't expect me to say that, did you? But I thought I would. And I don't mind you. Believe me, please. Don't think that I'm being sarcastic, because I'm not. All right? I'm absolutely saying this is what you got to do. And I'm happy to hear about it. Because I'm a Disney Imagineer. I'm talking Disney. People will want to know about Disney classics. We often talk about Disney classics here, don't we, guys? And this is a perfect place to learn more. I mean, if Leo didn't tell me about the Inventor, I have such a crazy life right now, I may have missed it. And I don't want to miss it. Okay, so if you go back to your comment, Joe, and see, we want to know what you got out there. So please don't think that I am teasing you in any way, in a mean way. It's pointing out to everybody. You got to let people know about your channel. Marketing is not bad. Pushy is bad, but just letting people know that you've got something they might enjoy is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I should do it more, actually, because I don't do it enough. Not this year. Deanna says, I will be meeting Liz Reed Thursday at the Magic Kingdom. Ooh, in Florida? Ooh, our Magic Kingdom, not hers. Because Liz Reed's Magic Kingdom is in Paris. So I thought maybe you might be going to Paris to see my dragon. But she's coming to see you here. I'll bet you she's super excited. I think I saw on her page that she's super, super excited. Yeah, excellent. My mistake, just checked. We're at 1.8K now. See? Boy, was I responsible for 100K in the last, 3 minutes? Ooh, you are good. That's awesome. Wonderful. It's $10, but you own it. Yes. And like Leo says, you own it as long as you subscribe to channel that you bought it on. You understand that, right? They're not going to send you a copy. No, I don't think you're going to get it in the mail. So don't get too excited, but at least you get to see it. And as long as you stay subscribed to that Apple TV, Amazon TV, etc., it's in your, streaming, right? My husband points that out. Please don't let people think that they're, because once they leave, it's gone, right? Yep. Bye-bye, California. Terri, Bob Bernine says, I always worry about people don't understand that I feel it's my duty to share what great people our Disney friends are. I have made connections for some of the tribe members and friends. I love to do this because they do belong to their fans and their hearts, and they're so happy to do with it. And Bob, you connect people that sometimes feel like maybe they've been forgotten. I can't say that about Willie Ito because I just don't believe Willie Ito believes that. And Bob Gurr will never believe it. I mean, I want to be Bob Gurr all the way up to past 100. I want to be Bob Gurr. I want to be, and by that I mean have that marketing brain he has, have that enthusiastic brain that he has, have that energy he has, that smile he has, that upbeat he has. He's just a pleasant, fun human being to be around, as is many of the legends and Imagineers. But Bob just seems to be like the Energizer Bunny. His legs may be not as steady under him as before, but then of course Bob Gurr then designs that special what do you call those scooters? Now he's designing a special scooter that will work better for people, and that's Bob Gurr. Okay, because designing monorail, designing Autopia cars, designing the cars for the World's Fair in 1964. I think it was 1964. Anyway, 1960 something. And then, as he gets older, in his 90s now, right? Not, jumping out of planes onto mountains and stuff, which I've heard he's done. But now his legs were, he found out that, he needs to go in a scooter more. So what does he do? Take a look at the scooters that are available and improves upon them. I mean, this is Bob Gurr. I want to be that vibrant, that generous, that giving, and that nuts, honestly. And you are just letting us and reminding us these people still exist and we need to come and see them. Bobby Sherman and the Sherman brothers, we can't forget them. We still have a Sherman brother who's alive. So it's nice to keep telling that Sherman brother that we love him and he's amazing and wow, he's still in our lives. During the birthday, Oscar Martinez, who many of you may or may not know personally, but you should search him on Facebook and friend him if you can. You may not be able to. I think the cap is 5,000 or whatever. The man is amazing. But if you ever ate at that little restaurant on Main Street, you often saw him. He often stopped by your table and said hello because he ran the whole entire thing while he was there. And he's incredible. Good friends with Walt Disney. He can tell you Walt Disney stories. But there's some things that have happened at Disneyland Park that are pretty sad. And his feelings were hurt. They took his picture down from the wall, which is where it was supposed to be. They should have put a plaque at a special table, or at least over their back area, so that people could remember the amazing Oscar Martinez. But here's the thing. When he came to visit me at the birthday for Disney, in case you are not a Disney aficionado, I will never assume that sort of thing, is July 17th. That's when Disney opened. Okay? Not yesterday in the 50s. It's okay. It's okay. But every 17th, people celebrate. This year, Disney sort of dropped the ball on it. There were many people who were employees who didn't know what day it was. And this was a shame to all of us who really make sure if there's one day we go to Disneyland, it's that day. But I told people that I will always be on that day from the time the rope drops till the time, sometime in the afternoon. I don't stay the whole day. I never stay for fireworks. It's just because I'm older now and I love the fireworks, but I live in California, so I can see the fireworks another time. But what I do on the birthday is I hold a little court in Coke Corner, meaning I sit there and you can come and say hello to me. You can get something autographed. You can buy me a soda. You can sit and talk with me until you're blue in the face, or hear stories until I'm blue in the face. Simply participate. And it became this huge party this year. We posted, and I say we because I had a little mouse in my pocket named Stephanie Fix, who is a posting queen. She knows about things that happen at Disneyland. She is a big part of the tribe. So she sat with me in the morning, and then she went around to see what was available to you if you came to the party. And one of them was this amazing birthday donut that apparently maybe was something that Disney mentioned, but she made sure that she posted it to Facebook, both publicly and to our tribe, that it was available. And people came up and said, thank you for posting. We posted party pictures. We had a friend who flew from Florida, speaking of Florida, to be at Disneyland so he could sit with us. And he got COVID. Can you imagine? You fly in, you get your hotel room, and you're arm's length with Disney, and you can't go because you got COVID. So in order to make him feel like he was part of the birthday, many people filmed and posted on Facebook and called him on it. Said, hey, check this out, Jim. We did this for you. And then anyone who wasn't there, like Leo wasn't there, Leo got to enjoy it. Everyone got to enjoy it as if they were there. And then those of us were there got to enjoy it. So what is Bob saying here? What Bob is saying here is, here comes Oscar with his lovely wife. And he's facing me. I'm facing a wall. Okay, so I'm not facing Main Street in Coke Corner. I'm kind of facing the back wall. Now, those of you who know Disneyland, that is a walk point for cast members. They actually can split between that restaurant, that what is it, Jolly Holiday restaurant, and Coke Corner, and go behind the scenes to take a break, to change out of their clothes if they're leaving, to change into their outfit if they're arriving. That is a throughway. I'm facing that wall. Nobody's there. Oscar is facing Main Street, talking with me and telling me that he feels like he was forgotten, and that, he could go down to that restaurant that he used to be a major part of and no one knows who he is. Pretty sad, right? But as he's telling me this, people are gathering against this wall that I was telling you about. And I'm just not talking one or two people. I'm talking 30 or 40 people are beginning to congeal because they what? Recognize him. So I tell him, I think you need to sit next to me and face the other direction, I tell him. So he gets out of his scooter, sits in one of those lovely chairs at Coke's Corner, and faces the wall, only to see 40 people smiling at him and waving at him and wanting to meet him. So I get up out of the chair and invite them all to come shake his hand, talk to him, and take a picture with him. It was glorious. And he got very emotional because one of the things I said to Oscar was, if you're forgotten and these are so many people, maybe you shouldn't tell anybody. And he loved it. And he stayed a long time, because people just kept coming. And the same thing happened with Willie Ito. If you had a little autograph book and you came and you introduced yourself and we explained to you who they were actually looking at, the amazing legend, Willie Ito, who, by the way, has the same birthday as Disneyland's birthday and is usually invited to the amazing Club 33, but chose not to go. He chose to spend the time with us, the tribe, and had a glorious time. In fact, I left and he was still there with Bob and Rose Burdine. So he drawing pictures for people, taking pictures with people. We mustn't forget the legends who helped make Disneyland or help make what we love, right? If you're a sports person, if you like Lego, if you like space, must remember your icons. Movies, television, do something nice for someone. Call them up, write them, tell them you love their work. Everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, and a compliment goes a long way, doesn't it? So, Bob, absolutely. You just keep doing what you're doing, buddy, because it's perfect. You're perfect. Bob Burdine, you stay up at night fretting about this. Really? He says, you stay up fretting about this? Really? Nah, don't. We know you're not. And he says he's teasing. He loves you, Bob. We know he does too. Leo has put up a link so that way you can learn more, right, Leo? That's to help people have that link. It's not the full movie, is it? Or do you have to pay $10 for that, Leo? A little more if you would, so people know. Deanna says, I don't know how many saw that I was diagnosed with diabetes. I didn't see that, but yeah. Is it insulin diabetes or tablet? See, I don't have it, but I know a lot about it. What is the name of the movie again? It's called The Inventor. And as Leo has pointed, and you can go through the comments if you want to, Diane, it's about Leonardo da Vinci. Mm-hmm. So you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I know I'm going to love it. I love the previews. So I know I'm going to love it. But it's true, Joe, there's other reasons, but I just hope no one thinks I'm name dropping. Just lucky to have been and to have friendships. Don't worry about name dropping. Name dropping is name dropping, and then knowledge is you're naming your friends, right? They just happen to be people who are very, very accomplished, like yourself, right? Yeah. You can't apologize all the time for being a unicorn, Bob. You have to just own it. You got to own it. People are going to try and make you feel bad about being a unicorn. You just got to say to yourself, one of the chosen. And sometimes that's not always the best, is it? But you got to own it. You and Rose come in and the room lights up. Some people walk in and the room, all the air and the light and everything gets sucked out of the room. You know those kind of people. You don't want to be those people. Be the one that lights the room up, which you are. So never apologize about that. Just enjoy. 9 times out of 10 people who are dissing you about that stuff don't know you. And I was saying this before. Have you ever been judged and have you ever been judged and people go, boy, that person, that person's a real jerk or whatever, and they haven't even talked to you. How do they know that you're a jerk? Do you know what I mean? They just decide, they look at you and decide you're a jerk because of why? Your hair is weird, or your face is weird, or the outfit's weird, or you're silly, or why? That's my question. Why? You can't fret over those people. It's like all lovely comments on your social media, and then you spend your time getting upset. Not you personally, Bob, but you as a group. Those of you who broadcast in a channel, you could obsess about that one negative comment. Don't do it. Don't do it. Probably someone did that one negative comment just to trip you up. Yeah. Just, you can't please everybody, as I've said before, and don't try. Do what you love. Make it about what you like. If you build it, they will come. You ever heard that? Yeah. They'll come and love it. And it may not be huge numbers. It may be huge numbers. Just be thankful for the blessings that you receive. And every human being that's a part of your group is a blessing. And Terri's Tribe is a huge blessing. So I hope you will go and check it out. Patreon.com/Terri Hardin. Go check it out. Or just click on Patreon and search under Terri Hardin. But you'll find us. Lots of creative people over there. And they're great fun. Here's the trailer to The Inventor. Here we go. See? So that way you get to see the preview. And then find it tomorrow. Make an effort. Set an alarm. Write it down in your notebook. When Leo told us about this last week, I went ahead and when I got off of broadcasting, we did a Zoom call. We do a Zoom call on Friday morning with the tribe, I went and found it and said, I'm subscribing. You know, my husband didn't get mad, but I said, I don't know how long we're going to have Apple TV. I want to see this movie. Yeah, Leo's gave a great, um, he did a great uh, critique on it, and I'm excited to see it. And then we discuss. That's the fun thing too, is we discuss, and we don't attack you. We may disagree with you, but we will not attack you. We won't say what a dumb idea, or how crazy are you. How some people say that, they say that to you, and it's like now they're insulting you about your 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 choices. Your choices are your choices. That's why we're in America. Okay, because you have freedom of choice, you hope, anyway. Some things are making you wonder, aren't they? Not going to discuss that right now. My choice. But it's best to go after the idea, not the person, right? So, for example, I don't like a lot of the live action um, Disney films with a passion. There are some I dislike more than others. But if you like them, I'm not going to tell you you're crazy for liking them. I just don't like them. Okay? Period. That's it. I don't like them. I think they're lazy. I think Disney needs to stop copying and start creating. That's what makes them an icon in this industry, is their creativity. And they seem to have forgotten that. And I want them to get it back. I want them to be strong. I want them to be leaders. I desire them to create, because that's the magic that made them what they are today, right? Copying would not have gotten them where they are today. Creating is what got them there today. And I want them to continue creating. And I have to say, after seeing Elemental, it felt like there was hope, because I really thought that movie was creative. I really did. And if you didn't like the movie, I defy you to tell me you didn't like the scene involving two sticks and a flame. And that's all I'm going to tell you. If you didn't like the movie, you like that scene, because that scene gets you right where you live. So if you haven't seen Elemental, make sure you see it. And understand that the previews for films, across the board, previews for films are not like they were in the days that I was growing up, because the internet is alive and well and hungry. And you guys are hungry for those likes, boy. And some of you can't keep a secret. You love to let that cat out of the bag, don't you? So as a result, you have changed the face. Those of you who can't keep a secret have changed the face on how a person who makes trailers has to work. They have to work with their hands tied behind their back, because companies used to send scripts to these people so that they could do a good trailer. Now they barely send them enough to make a good trailer, because people that are out there that are the ones that can't keep a secret tell the whole movie, spoil it for all of us. And so the industry wants to keep a lid on that. So they've tied the hands of people who make our previews. So if the preview was completely a miss, like in Elemental, it's a complete miss, they probably didn't have the tools to do a good one. So we have to lead with tolerance and tell them, we know what you're going through, buddy, because we've seen it happen. We've seen people take whole movies, hack whole movies, and show them ahead of time. A Star Wars or a Marvel film. And it's good for them, but not really great for us, because it's some cruddy copy, or it's some cruddy secondhand discussion, and it doesn't work. Don't let the cat out of the bag. Don't show the magic before. Respect. It takes a lot for a person to make a film and get it on there. And the inventor is one of those people. Not that he was afraid for the preview. I'm not saying that. But he worked hard. They worked hard. That team worked hard. 10 years of their blood, sweat, and tears. Let's let them have the glory for all that hard work. And Disney, create. Because when you let yourself go and you create, you're magical. And that's what we believe of Disney. Same with Jim Henson. Henson needs to do the same. Henson, so creative, the company. Love being a Muppeteer and watching what they come up with. Because they're brilliant. They're just a brilliant group of people. And for some reason, they're afraid. And fear doesn't help. Fear only hinders. So my message to my, a couple hundred people is, let's spread the word and say, create, Disney, we're here for you. We'll back you up if you create and stop tracing. Tracing is good for students. Now, take those training wheels off and make it work, right? So In order to do that, in order to show that fearlessness still works, movies like The Inventor and the Barbie movie and Elemental need to be recognized, even if it's on my little channel. So you go ahead and talk about the great people that you know. You go ahead and share the movies that you happen to love very, very much. And maybe someone somewhere will watch it and say, you know what? I like that. Or maybe someone will take a chance at Disney and make something marvelous. And we won't have to see another live action Lion King. I mean, really, guys, really. That is like, what did they say? Military intelligence, which to me is kind of a rude statement. But the point is, it's Lion King has got to be one of the wackiest ones I've ever seen because it's not a live action. You know, don't get me started on that movie. If you love that movie, I love you loving that movie, but I am not in that group. My favorite character in The Lion King was Rafiki, and one of the reasons Rafiki was not in the movie is because baboons are deadly. So live action, really oxymoron when it comes to that movie. Yeah, just really. And millions went to see it. And I'm like, oh, ow. That was painful for me. That was painful for me. For me. Okay, for me. If you loved it, we can still have lunch. I'm not holding it against you, and don't hold it against me. Okay? All right. Hugs and kisses, right? Right. So that's my point. Share what you know. Don't be embarrassed if you happen to be a unicorn. Don't hide it under a bushel. Be you. Be you. Be you and own it. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, I didn't pay for any advertising or anything. Just suddenly I got this explosion of new member requests. I think someone with a ton of connections joined because there's one particular post that's gotten over 1,000 likes. Well, this is how it happens. One of the things that many people have said is you don't have to pay for stuff. Don't do it. Don't do a Facebook ad or an Instagram. Well, an Instagram's a little different, okay? I can't say don't because I still don't understand how that works. But the point is this, social media is magical. You just share and share and share and share. If I shared more, my channel will be larger. I just happen to be a busy lady. I always say the sign of a good artist is a website that's a little old, or a little clunky. I think mine's okay, but it needs work. And websites always need work. Some of you may be saying website, ? But a website is necessary because there's people like me out there, 66 years old, who don't deal with social media at all. And I like those people. I want those people too. I actually envy those people. But I'm here because I can reach people just like you're doing right now, Joe. No, you just spread the word. You spread the word, and then they encourage them to spread the word, and then they spread the word. This community is a great, this is the best way. Word of mouth has always been the best way to let people know where you are and what you're doing. Okay? So congratulations on the success of your channels. And before you know it, you're going to have millions of followers, if that's what you want. I don't want that, but you may want that, right? So you keep up the good work. Hi, Terri. I am good. Hi, Mike. Nice of you to pop in and say howdy. Great to see you today. It's $10, but you own it, and if you keep paying, so it's at least a down payment. Basically, it's just that you've subscribed to the channel. As long as you subscribe to the channel or subscribe to the, the app? Would it be a channel? Apple TV channel? Right? Like Disney Plus? As long as you subscribe, it's yours, right? Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, don't think you're going to get one in the mail because you're not. No, not yet. However, I do want the DVD of it. The Inventor I'm talking about. I do want it. Already, I haven't even seen it, and I want it. I collect stop motion film because I want to do it someday. So I learn a lot by analyzing and studying stop motion because I've never done it. That's wrong. I did it at Disney University back in the 90s. I went to Disney University and did a claymation, which was tons of fun. But that's not necessarily doing a film. That's, that dipped my toe in the water and wanted me to do more. I did some tests like with a perfume bottle, making the perfume bottle walk across the room sexy, making it run, making it slide and glide. Yeah, that sort of thing. And had a great time. I love stop motion. Yeah, I want to do more. And so watching these films just shows me what I could do, you know. And hopefully, I was hoping to get into that this year because my husband retired and we both want to do that. But this year has been a crazy family year, and I had to take care of some family stuff, and I'm still doing it. So no apologies. Just that's my life this year, and so I will shoot for next year. You know, yeah. Deanna, I really want one of those. They're expensive though. Mobility scooters. I skipped that. There it is. Mobility scooters. Joe says he really wants one of those, but they're expensive. There are some programs, Joe, where you can apply for one if you're lower income or if your income qualifies. Let me say that. Lower income sounds so rude. But if your income qualifies it and you really need it, there's ways you can get one. I know because a couple of family members have told me that it works. My dad never needed a scooter. He was not a scooter guy. He was a walker guy. Boy, and he could, but yeah, I just lost my dad recently, which is one of the things that's been my yearly dedication. Um, but yeah, my dad and his walker. Yeah, athlete. So yeah, I always thought he would go before my mom, and yet, I mean, I always thought he'd survive my mother, but my mother survived him, and she says now she can go, but I don't quite know what that means. So it's interesting. We'll have this conversation with her, and then all of a sudden she'll say, "Well, when I go," and I'll say, "Are you planning that? Talk to me." Because I want to know how she's feeling. Not having my dad to talk to anymore was something that I know she misses, as do I. You know, so yeah. Oscar is the sweetest. Absolutely, Oscar is the sweetest and deserves to be remembered. And so the party is where we're doing. In fact, we want you guys, if any of you are in the vicinity during the 17th of July, we're going to start our marketing, Joe Penny, to come and see us because the thing that really makes the Disney birthday great, even if Disney chooses not to celebrate those little years between those iconic years like 65, 70, 75, 80, all those, the ones in the middle are fun too. Every birthday is special. Every birthday is special. And so those middle years, even if Disney decides not to make a big deal out of it, we do. And it's the people that make that thing wonderful, isn't it? So plan on joining us next year, or at least swinging by and saying, hey, and then seeing what, because we have Disney legends there. Oscar Martinez, who is a legend with me. I'm a legend. Ambassadors. We saw 6 ambassadors to Walt, people who were at the right hand of Walt or later help share the Walt legacy. So they're there participating. Legends participate. Icons participate. Animators come and say hello. Voice people come and say hello. You never know who you're going to see. You never know you're going to see because I let everyone know I want to be there and they come and say hello. Because like Bob, I'm an Imagineer. So I know a lot of people too. And they come by and say hello. And then they get all these fans who tell them they're wonderful and fabulous. And maybe they were feeling kind of cruddy that day. And now they feel good because all the fans go, it's you. So it's a good day. So put it on your calendar. Do it now. How's your mom? She's doing fine. I mentioned it, Mike. So I anticipated you this time, buddy. Thank you for asking. Terri, when we took Willie to Disneyland for their birthdays and we met up with the tribe, he was so happy to see the tribe and couldn't believe so many people were interested in him. On our way home, he asked that if we could adopt him. So now he's Uncle Willie. Well, he's adopted by the world, isn't he? We love him, and I'm glad you adopted him. He's a love. He's an absolute sweetheart. He recently went to a Disney and a fan club event, and the experience wasn't great. And it should have been. But I'm not going to talk about that. All right. What I am going to talk about is we stayed in the hotel. We all gathered. There was probably about 6 people plus Willie, and maybe it was 8 people, a little intimate group, and we all had a drink in the hotel bar area. And it could be a Coke, okay? It doesn't have to be alcohol. You follow me? But I had 2 people who really wanted to meet Willie, and so I situated it so that they were in a perfect position to talk to him and get to know him and ask him questions, because Bob and Rose and we know him very well. They know him probably a lot on a deeper level than I do, but I've known Willie for years. And I knew that there were people who had not experienced the Willie Ito effect, which is quite magical. And they had a great time. They had so much fun. They went out floating on air. And that's what I like to see. And I know Willie had a good time too. So we do that. And then artists that are kind of a little more understated, like some would say I'm understated, though however, I find that a little hard to believe, because I do have an ego, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very proud of my work, and I'm one of the best in the business, and I have no problem saying it. So if you think that's arrogant and narcissistic, you're probably right, but I'm my best marketer. So, hi. If you want the best sculpture that you can get, I feel I'm the person for that job. But remember, I'm 66, so it took a while for me to be able to say that with such confidence. And I do it every day. I'm also someone who can make you feel better. That's my superpower, is to help you get where you get your feet upon the right path. Just by talking to you, kind of giving you some ideas, light that fire, and then off you go and be wonderful. And then I can say, oh, I had something to do with it. I love it. So, yeah. So, yes, Willie's a lovely person. And when Bob and Rose brought him to that party, and it became a party. There are people who just wanted to sit and eat at Coke Corner, and they were like, what is going on in that corner? And then we invited them to come find out. Don't just have a hot dog and a Coke. Come and find out what that party is. Because guess what? It's the birthday. So that's kind of what we did. Yeah. So again, if we bring this back to the inventor, it takes a village. So let's help. So check it out. Okay. You've got in the comments where to go to see the preview. And then remember, it drops tomorrow on various streaming platforms. Find one that works for you, and then pick that puppy up, okay? And then watch it and love it. If Oscar cries at just 40 people wishing him well, says Joe, imagine how much he'd cry if he saw how many more people love him. Exactly my point. But he was feeling bad when he was at Disneyland. He went and the picture was gone. And he went and nobody at his restaurant that he was there for over what, 50 years or so. More, I think. And nobody knew who he was. Who are you again? Can you imagine? So soon? It's a relatively short time, guys. We just don't know some of the pain that people have, and so if there's someone you liked as a kid, write them and check to see if they're still alive. But even if they weren't alive, you could write to the family. I remember loving Larry Seymour Vincent. If you don't know who that is, that was Seymour. He used to have a Halloween a TV show like Elvira. And if you don't know who that is, well, Google it, okay? Very strong horror hosts. Very fun, wonderful, talented horror hosts, all right? And I took singing lessons. I just wanted to do a song for my parents. So I took some singing lessons so that I could just, carry a tune properly. And the woman playing the piano was the wife of Seymour. And she was delighted to hear that I was crazy about the man, that I would not go out on a date Saturday night in high school or college because I had my date at 11 o'clock at night with Larry Seymour Vincent as he presented my favorite scary movie. True story. So you never know who you're going to make happy. The wife was happy, and she gave me a lot of Larry Seymour Vincent kind of paraphernalia, which I absolutely still have and adore. Just realize that you may think they think they're famous, that you may think they're doing great. I want to meet Clint Eastwood. Okay? I want to meet Clint Eastwood. I've met Lee Van Cleef, and I've met Eli Wallach, and Good, the Bad, the Ugly is one of my favorite Westerns. But I wanted to make it complete and let Clint Eastwood know that his body of work has been entertaining, fun, and very special to me. His political views, all of that stuff that has nothing to do with the man's body of work as a producer, director, and actor, love it. Just want to have 15 minutes to tell him why I love his body of work. You know? And you might say to yourself, he's too famous. Write him a letter. I have, and I'll write it again. Who knows? Might get answered. Never know. So don't let that wall go up. Write to someone if you think they're good. But be kind, be gracious, and if you see them someplace, make sure it's not the bathroom. Wait till they've washed their hands. Come out into the little alcove area. Then introduce yourself. Don't do it at the urinal. Remember Harrison Ford telling me that was not cool. I didn't do it. Shame on you thinking that. No. Yeah, he told me that he was in the urinal one time and guy wanted to shake his hand because he was Han Solo. Yeah, that must have been pretty creepy. But anyway, yeah, wait. Be courteous. If they're having a meal, wait till they get to dessert or they put the menu down to talk and then say, forgive me, I just want you to know I love your work. Wanted to take a couple minutes. I just can't imagine someone gets angry at you if you're polite and kind about it, right? You don't know what kind of day they're having. You can make their day, and if they're mean about it, well, say, hey, mine was not to make, I just wanted you to know, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, especially when you live where I live, which is Hollywood, California. You can see an actor, in the unemployment line back in the day. That's what my dad used to take people to see famous actors. He'd take them to the unemployment office. True story. Yeah, absolute true story. Yep. That's it. Tablet. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for giving people credit for people who deserve it. Yeah, exactly. Why not? Why not? Thank you goes a long way, guys. Don't get too shy that you don't tell him. My husband always tells me about when I saw Robin Williams and I was too shy to go up on the stage. That's because his entourage really kind of came after me. But my husband, while they were coming after me, my husband went around the back and told Robin Williams, if he remembered me, working on a sculpture at Imagineering for Circle Vision Theater where I had met him. And he went, oh, yeah. And he came over and he pushed the guards away. And he actually took my husband and I, and we talked for 20 minutes. I'll never forget it. It was wonderful. And thank you to my husband for, when I froze, he took over, So, yeah, it was great. It was great. Yeah. It was lovely. That guy was something, wasn't he? Robin Williams. It's a shame to have lost him. I can't wait to go back to Disneyland next July 17th. I think we may need all of Coke Corner next time. It's not to be missed. Well, we'll try to be a little more polite because, we always order from Coke Corner because Coke Corner is so sweet to let us have that corner, without going, will you goslings go somewhere else? They don't do that because that Disney way, that's not really the Disney way. So, but what a great time we had, right, guys? Yeah, that was good. We got to do more of that, Michelle. You're so right. Bob Berdine, I love our Uncle Willie, says Michelle. Yeah, I can't help but love that man. It was me, Joe. I told everyone. Bob does that too. He tells everyone. So there you go, Joe. It only takes one person to tell another, to tell another, to tell another. Telephone really works. Yes, it does. I love a lot of the classic Disney live action movies. Newer ones, not so much. I saw a photo of the new Snow White remake. Yuck. Yeah, apparently that one's going through some changes. But don't get me started on that one. I can't imagine that this is the big one for me. Because remember when I said ahead of time that I don't badmouth you. I don't attack you for some of the things you say. God has a sense of humor and is testing me with this young lady who plays Snow White. She's really poking the snake where I'm concerned. And I've had to catch myself because I've wanted to say some things about her character that I don't say. But thinking them can be just as bad, right? And I just don't understand how someone can hand you millions of dollars to do an iconic character and all you do is say smack about him. I just think that is not cool. That's as far as I'm going to go. I do not understand how that is happening. Let me say it like that. Snow White is huge. It is a miraculous animated film, and it put Disney. Uh, it's the one that put Disney on the map. Yeah, he had his lovely Mickey and his Steamboat Willie and all those other ones. But if you if you read books by D.D.A. Getz, there's a great set of books called Walt's People that I was introduced by a tribe member, my friend David L. Skipper. When I read these books, and a lot of the ones that I'm reading now, I'm reading the early volumes where most of the people who are interviewed are dead. They're no longer with us. They're in heaven. There are several people who actually worked on Snow White, the animated film, and they talk about why Walt made such an impact when it was released back in the day that it was released. Okay. Why the people reacted to it the way they reacted to it, because there were cartoons before. Okay. But this was a feature-length animated film. And I remember the animators saying what really blew people away was, instead of being bits, little bits that happen, like when you watch the Roadrunner and the Wile E. Coyote, beep, beep, the coyote sets up a trap, the Roadrunner messes up the trap, and the coyote gets a bit by getting smashed, no ground, falling, all that kind of stuff. Those are bits, comedy bits. And that's what all the cartoons were until Snow White came on, according to these animators. I wasn't born then. And they said that for the first time, people watched a movie where the animated characters weren't doing bits like vaudeville. They were actually emoting, acting, and reacting. Each animated character was their own personality makeup. They had thoughts, they had attitudes, they had feelings individually in this film for the first time. All I can say is that it must have impacted them like Star Wars in 1977 impacted yours truly. I only hope that in your lifetime, if you're younger and did not get to experience this, that one day you do. Because it is a room stretching feeling. If you've seen Jaws and you've seen the character of Roy Neary when the boy gets attacked by the shark and the room stretches, that's how I felt when I saw Star Wars. And I think I had a lot of company in 1977 as I sat and watched Star Wars. I have a very good tribe friend who said the dialogue is smarmy, the acting is cheesy, what's to like in Star Wars? But he's young, he's in his 20s. He wasn't there. And for those of us who were there, we tried to tell you what it was like to see that, as many tried to tell you what it was like to see or to create Snow White back in that day. But you had to be there for the most part, didn't you? But I will tell you, in Star Wars, we were hungry. The geeks of the world, the nerds of the world were hungry. We were getting spoon-fed to the point of puking love stories till we wanted to explode. We wanted sword and sorcery. We wanted space battles. We wanted energy, but in a unique way. We wanted Marvel. We wanted Star Wars. We wanted this kind of stuff. Star Wars opened the door for us. Thank you, George Lucas, for not giving up. Thank you to the team of George Lucas's group for coming together and making a film for only $12 million. Just like The Inventor, people came together, made it for 10. You follow me? Yeah, seriously. All right. But when that crawl went across, okay, that was cool. But when did we have us at hello? Big ship crosses the screen, fills the screen. Then a bigger ship crosses the screen, fills the screen. Then the first ship goes up into the other ship, and we were done. We were hooked. We were excited. Our hearts beating like a rabbit. We couldn't breathe. Many of us held our breath. You could hear a pin drop. We had never seen anything like this. We had never experienced anything like this. The Dykstraflex camera. George Lucas and his team coming together and creating something amazing. It changed the course of not only films, movies, makeup, costumes, life. It changed the world. Star Wars did. So if you think it's a cheesy, clunky, smarmy movie, that's your business. But you weren't there in 1977. You weren't begging for something like this to come. And when it did, you couldn't believe it. You just couldn't believe it. Was I holding my breath? Oh, whoa, my popcorn's still here. My drink is melted. Wow, what did I just look at? Credits roll. Dun, 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 and we're all like, what did we just see? So I want you to feel that. If you haven't had that opportunity to feel that, you're missing out. You're missing out. With the way that the Disney people are killing the Star Wars franchise and massacring Marvel franchise and breaking our hearts with some of the things that we love, we hope that one day they'll watch Star Wars and remember that passion that we felt, that impact that we felt, and come back and create a Star Wars universe. Stop resurrecting Carrie Fisher. Stop, bugging Harrison Ford. Let them go. Let them be the foundation. Okay? Let them be the foundation and create the world of Star Wars. Mandalorian was well on its way. But third season was meh. And all I can think of is, you guys who create these worlds, you gotta not, you gotta do your best to let people see, remember what you felt. Favreau and his team are doing a great job. But if you let other worry, see fear when it comes in, you start to doubt yourself. And never works. Never works. Go for it. Okay? Go for it. Make that film. Have that passion. Be real. Be real. Don't let fear, when it comes, work to get it to go away and stay the course, because George Lucas had a heck of a battle to get Star Wars made. And thank God he never quit. And thank God he had people who are eager, like John Dykstra, to get right on board and design something wonderful. Like Walt, the Bob Gurrs of the world, the John Henches, the Herbie Rymans, all came together to create something wonderful. All right? So how does this girl get to say something and say the things that she says? And actually, in some cases, get away with it. Personally, if I were Disney, I'd throw her out on her ear. But that's my opinion. That's it. If yours is different, I welcome it. Get rid of Bob Iger. Make me Disney CEO. I really honor Walt's legacy. Joe, you're going to have to campaign, buddy. Mark it, buddy. The Lion King remake is dead action. See, there's opinions, right? I just tell you that, live action, to a certain extent, live action means, like Cinderella. My favorite live action was Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella. I love it. It's right on the shelf with my other Cinderellas, okay? I love that one. There are things in that I think are so clever and so sweet and so fun. I don't know your opinion on that, but I think it really works. I was really glad it was made. But Maleficent, the only thing good about that is the way Angela Jolie looks in the outfit. Otherwise, the movie is garbage. I'm sorry. I really did not like that movie. But at least live action means people walked around, not trying to make wild animals act in a movie, because you're only going to get yourself hurt. So I had to deal. I saw it because it's kind of like voting. You can't complain if you don't at least see the movie, But yeah, so wow, crazy. David, there you are, still pitching my Snow White and the Seven Jawas. You know what? At this point, they just might grab it, man. I'm in to see it, David. Though the generous us is a Big Bob, I will be contacting Willie Ito. Oh, well, through the generous. Sorry. can't read. Of Big Bob, I will be contacting Willie Ito for an interview for Walt's People. Yes, yes, I'm actually going to be in Walt's People. It's a great honor. Thanks to David, as I said before, he's the one that turned me on to these books. And if I tilt the camera up, that white section right here, just above my head, is Walt's People books. Yeah, I'm slowly making way through them. Thank you, David Skipper. Like I said, the tribe is great because you can't know everything. And everybody comes together and shares and is kind and wonderful just for as little as $5 a month. So think about it, right? Yep. You better hurry up if you want to meet Clint Eastwood. I know, right? He's the clock is ticking. And all I do is God willing, God willing. I speak it every day. And if I ever bump into him, I will not ruin that. I will not miss that opportunity. Yes. But, we'll see. I'd really love to meet him. I'd really love to tell him. But maybe he'll see my channel and I'll get to tell him if I don't get to tell him in person. But my time with Eli Wallach was magical. I was so grateful. He's actually my favorite character, Tuco. And we had a great time talking about it. And he loved it. His wife loved it. They got a kick out of me because I act everything out if I like it. If I like you and I like, I'll act out with passion the scene that I love. So, some people find it amusing. Some people, step back a little. I never went out on Saturday, not because of Seymour. I just didn't date. I was lonely. Oh, Bob. Well, you were waiting for your true love, which you have now. So don't go there. A great mobility device is the zine designed by the inventor of Steadicam. Grants are available to purchase. See, look at that. We're doing some tribe action here right now, guys. That is what we do. What David just did here, okay, for Joe, that's how it works. That's it in action. Enough said. That's the tribe. That's the tribe mentality right there. Yep. I will tell everyone, Joe, it could happen. It could. Roy Neri is Richard Dreyfuss's character in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977. Okay, fine. But you know what I mean, right? Right. See, I always get a good correction from Joe too. So he takes good care of me. But you know what I mean. The room stretches in Jaws. Yes, exactly. CGI creations like Lion King and Little Mermaid do not capture the emotion, individuality, and incredible acting that the mind, hand, and pencil create in 2D animation. See, there's an opinion. All right. Now, look at how it's stated, because this is a tribe behavior. All right. He's saying his opinion. He did not say anything about the people who think differently. Are you following me now? This is very important, guys, because on social media, it's so easy to attack the person, right? And with Joe always corrects me because, if it's wrong, he fixes it. He's an automatic fixer, but I don't sit there and go, really, Joe, you're going to nitpick. He didn't nitpick. He just fixed it, right? So again, we don't attack the people. We just talk about how we feel about the subject, right? Right. I got to grab lunch. If you're done before I get back, everyone have a great week. I definitely will be because I've got work to do. Have good lunch. Enjoy. We've been about an hour and 13, and that is around what I wanted to do. Hi, Bella. Bella, you squeaked right in, girlfriend. I was wondering if you were going to come and say hi. Thank you for saying hi. Next year, I'm working hard to get to the UK. So it's awesome. Guys, I do got to run. I love you. We are at 1 hour 13, which is exactly where I wanted to be. So do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. Go through the comments. Find out where you can see the preview for The Inventor. Check out Joe Pitty's classic pages. Become a part of them. Chat with that group. Always special. And we will see you soon. When? I'm not exactly sure. I've got some live coming up, so I will try to connect with you as much as I can, but it's going to be a little bit of effort this time because I've got some other stuff going on, and I will. I will, Bella. I'm coming to see you for sure. Yes, love you back. and be well. Okay. Look, I'm still clicking. See, all my friends, Bella, Jenna, Grandma, all y'all. Love you in the UK. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Be well. Be good to each other. Lead with tolerance. Don't attack each other. There's enough of that happening. And use your turn signal, please, when you're driving. If you don't, use your turn signal for me, just for